Doc, can you hear me? Senior Anchorite, can you hear me? Apologies.
I can hear you.
Okay,
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Great. I don't know what magic wand your committee possesses, which the Minister for Health did not, because in the past it sounded as if there was a standoff between the Ministry of Health on the one hand and the nurses on the other. In fact, the three ministers who called the press conference said dealing with this issue or responding to the nurses' demand was simply going to be impossible because of the huge budgetary allocation that would be needed. What did you say to them? How did you manage to get them to suspend their strike?
Yes, a very good evening to listeners. And I'll say that now is just the posturing. I mean, when you have a conflict situation for effective communication, I think we should all be guided by what we say, the Kilman's theory. If you have two people being affected, then conflict persists. So the parliamentary committee, the posture, of a kind where we were seeking the cooperation of the nurses. They're a very solid team, very organized team. And you know they are right. Because you see the cadre of health professionals, all of them have gotten their CBA signed off last year with the previous government. The only cadre in the healthcare space who have not had yet is the nurses. It's not like anything they're asking for is new. It's just what the rest asked for that has been given to them, that yet has not been given them. So we showed them some first principles that you are right. Everything I said, I was clear in my mind that they were right. But the good thing is that they were hearing it from the minority who side with them. We side with them with their right. Except we're asking that on the face of what is right, before Ghanaians and before God, can we give an opportunity for 2 weeks so that we can be able to pursue their concerns from the legislative angle, push the executive to some sort of a halfway settlement of the issue. Now, what happened was we pleaded with them to get some 4 out of the 8 they are asking for, so that at least we can also ask government to do some 4 now, and then in the next budget cycle, you can do the remaining 4 for them. Remind you, all the health care, they are all enjoying their rights, except the nurses. So it's a fair call. So they had to actually excuse themselves to go and have a lot of discussions. They came back, and then we also got the minister to excuse us. And then later on, we put ourselves together, and then we said to them. So the ministers did not commit on anything, but they thought reasonably the 4 they put on board, they are also going to discuss. The Minister of Health is going to discuss the appointing authority, and the finance is going to do the same. And then in 2 weeks, they will bring a feedback on it for us. That posture from government was also okay by virtue of the representatives here, and that posture by the nurses was also okay. There's something they didn't have, and I'm sure because the minority was so involved and so appealing to them, they saw that it was more of a bipartisan approach to the issue, and therefore they needed to also give us an opportunity to see what we can do. And that is more of what allowed them to go and give us feedback to their council, and they have given us just 2 weeks to see what we can do for them.
Ultimately, they want this to be done this year. The government says it cannot be done. Do you reckon there would be a middle ground in this?
There must be. There will be a middle ground on this, and I believe there will be the point where it has been so difficult to talk about this issue was when you are on strike, and therefore you are pushing the executive. We made them clear when I was speaking to them that respectfully, I am not in the executive, and I have not been there. But if you are actually seeking something, and you point a gun on the head of executives that give it to me before I go, really, really, in that standoff, the executive authority will not yield. So we told them that on the face of that, let them yield halfway, and let us now seek executive authority to also come halfway on the issue. I think with the posture and the good faith the nurses have exhibited, they should be able to encourage the executive to also look at it, because not much. The allowance and research one in total, it's going to only 900 people the whole country. 900. The research allowance is for those in the teaching industry and the tutors for the nurses. And in total, they said about 900. Now, if you look at also the food allowance joined now, okay, now it's up 5,000, not the 128,000 nurses. So if food allowance is all kids of health professionals are enjoying maybe 6 cities, or maybe a liter or a gallon, and they are taking like 2 or 3. So they just say that the upgrade has to just like what the others are taking. They're not asking for too much, and it's not as if we are now introducing it. They are taking it anyway. I said the rate is low, so the difference is too much, and that was about only 5,200 people. So that one we added to the basket, so that became 2. And the next one is going to be the food allowance, the uniform allowance. They are taking 400 Ghana once a year. It comes in September, and they are now going to ask for 1,000. There's 600 difference on it, all of them. It won't be much, and it is one-off. You understand? And then the 8% one on the basic salary. So that increment will also be much. So this 4, we did a math there, and this should be something the government should be able to show good faith. We told them that minorities, we have led these discussions, we are clear on it, we've done what we don't have to do, shame on to those who do policies with health have always stayed, and our posture from our leadership in parliament to act in the committee is the same, that we are going in to plead with the nurses because they are right, and we are not going in as MPP. We're going in first with Ghanaians as the reason why we are going in for the discussion. And therefore, when we had a Ghana mentality on cards without looking at MPP isn't in the issue, we were able to lead the discussion in a way that Ghanaians are happy for the suspension that they've had from the nurses.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Yeah, thank you too.
That's Dr. Ayew. He is NPP Member of Parliament for Afiduasi Asokore, and he's a ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament. Jubi, you can now tell us about the plan by Parliament to summon the chairperson of the EC.
Parliament has summoned the chairperson of the Electoral Commission to answer some questions